Right, quick update on Drew's turbo project.
Yeah.
So something very small but very important has been made to do with the manifold down there.
Pipes down here,
Which now been removed.
Well, I've had to remove them,
because something's been made in your hand there.
Yes, that. Basically, the original Kawasaki turbo bolts to there.
Yes.
I've got to get some new studs. But this Garrett turbo, that flange, is bigger.
Yep.
So it won't bolt to there. So we need an adapter. There was one made out of some flanges and a bit of tube.
Yes. That
we were going to modify, but it turns out we couldn't because they were.
And you're going to modify it because that particular adapter placed the
turbo
in the wrong place.
Here.
Yeah.
Because the engine was in a chopper.
Yes.
And the forks
were miles away.
Were up here.
Yes.
So it gave loads of room to put the turbo anywhere you wanted. But obviously on this, it's got a tuck underneath, more like the original turbo on the Z6, on the GPZ. So I gave Jeff the two manifolds and this bit of tube that I've been cutting up and told him what I wanted. And he phoned me back and said, I can't use this. I'll make one from scratch.
Yes. Out
of a piece of steel billet. So he's basically bored out a piece of steel billet, made what looks like a bobbin, and then he's cut flats. If you look at that, that's all made out of one piece. So that was a circular disc. They were both circular discs with a short tube between the two, and then he's cut down the
corners,
the circles to make a triangle.
Yes.
So that now will bolt. Sorry, that one will bolt on there, like so, and the turbo bolts to that.
Yeah. Great.
And he's flowed it all, so there's no step.
It's nice and smooth, yeah.
Yeah, it's all out of one piece, so it's super strong. But he's had to relieve the tubing slightly here, so that the nut will turn.
Yeah. It's very, very close, isn't it?
He's used 12mm nuts instead of obviously the standard 13mm nut for a 8mm thread. But he's had to just Dremel away a little clearance there.
Yeah.
I still think we can. I'm going to have to use a crowfoot on it because you can't get a socket or
no, it's not
ring
room.
spanner on it.
No,
it's tight.
But it works.
Now he's made this adapter to my spec.
Yes.
I can get the turbo bolted to here. I tried fitting that to here with the pipe still on the bike, but I couldn't get at this nut at the back to tighten it.
Yeah.
So I've had to remove the pipes. I can bolt the turbo to this and then put
everything
lot on, back on. Yeah.
So and once you've done that, that's quite a critical part you've got now, because
it's the first hurdle basically. Because once this turbine housing is on, I then have to design a bracket from the crankcase to the body of the turbo to support the weight.
Yes.
Which we've already discussed. Once that's done, then I've got to. That's that way around. Then I've got to put the turbine housing on this side, the compressor housing, and once I've got the orientation of the outlet right, there's a bracket moulded to the cast into the housing, which holds an actuator. But when I get the turbine outlet at the right place, the bracket comes down here somewhere. So it was here to hold an actuator to operate the wastegate.
Yes.
So now I'm going to have to redesign a bracket to hold the wastegate
in the correct place.
In the correct place,
yeah.
So it's
quite fiddly.
Anything but straightforward.
No, it's not straightforward.
It's not straightforward at all. And I've been on the internet. I've tried to find if someone did a kit to bolt this turbo to this engine. Because apparently this is an upgrade what a lot of people use.
It's a bigger turbo, isn't it?
Yeah, it's slightly bigger. I mean, from what I've been told in the past, the standard 750 turbo is a little bit too small. So a lot of people do put bigger turbos on these.
Well, plus this is now what, 810 rather than 7.
Yeah. Apparently this turbo is designed for petrol engines between 1 litre and 1.4 litre.
All right, so it's plenty big enough.
Yeah, and it's probably, I mean, like I say, it's 810 cc's, which is not getting on for a litre. So.
Well, I mean, this is a bike engine, so it revs a lot more than a typical car engine.
Yeah, so.
So that's a good. You've got that.
So we're getting on with that now.
Got that done, and now. So what's next then? What's next on the agenda? once this is sorted out, what's next?
Well, obviously all the turbo system. I've got to get the sump on, which is still not on.
Yeah.
And you can't get sump gaskets anymore.
Oh,
the sump's there, ready to go on.
Yes.
Once that sump's on, there's another section of sump, which is this. That was missing, so we've had to buy one of these. That's for the drain to go back into from the bottom of the turbo.
Okay, it needs a bit of a clean up, doesn't
so
it?
That'll want cleaning and painting, and then I can work out all the drain lines, the turbo feed, all that to do with the turbo.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've been looking at using as much of the standard pipe work as I can.
Yeah, there's the pipe from.
Yeah. Well, you can see the pipe there into the plenum chamber.
Yeah.
This is the other pipe here.
Oh, that's been modified, hasn't it?
It's not. It's been lengthened badly. So
okay, so that chrome bit shouldn't be there.
So
or wasn't
that
there?
chrome bit shouldn't be there, and that fits.
Like so.
That goes to about here inside here. That goes on there, and that goes into the turbo. So the turbo blows through there.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the other part of this.
And that pipe's been a bit.
Yeah, what they've done is they've rammed a piece of tubing on it and just hammered it over. Look, it's proper bodged.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, I could cut that off, remove this, and reuse this.
Yes.
Until I looked at it closely, and it's a bit flattened here.
Yes.
Where it looks like it's been bent. And also, if you look here, there's some deep gouges.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And there, where it's been rubbing on something. So that's now redundant. I'm going to have to find another one of these.
We can make one.
I found, well, it's got a rib on the end to fit this rubber. So I've seen another pair of these pipes on eBay.
They are around, are they? Okay.
40 quid.
That's not too bad then.
No.
Yeah. Not worth trying to make one for that price.
So I'm going to go to a local breakers over the next few days. I've got a little short list of things I need for this. What I'm doing is on the bench here. I've got what I think is a 750 wiring loom that I got from this breakers.
Okay.
This local breakers to me.
What for a turbo?
That was in a box of turbo parts.
Oh, okay. So it should be full.
So and I've just got to confirm that is the right loom by double checking the wiring diagram, which I've got there.
Yes.
Which I'm about to do. I've also got the sub loom. There's a separate loom that goes from the ECU to all the sensors. That's down in a box somewhere, and it's in good order, so I can check that for continuity and retape it. And jobs are good.
Yeah.
Saves me having to rewire the whole bike. I'm trying to use the original 750 wiring loom to save time, really.
And money. Time is money.
But obviously, using a standard loom, all the electrical components have got to go roughly in the same place as they are on the
original bike.
On the original bike, yeah.
And haven't you got a problem with the big ECU box, which is I don't know where it is. It's down here somewhere. It's a big old thing.
Is down here.
Okay, it's down there somewhere.
All this junk.
Yeah. Down there somewhere.
The ECU is here. There's the wiring loom. Sub loom I bought.
So there's the box.
And
you've got to get a home for that.
I've got to get a home for that. There's the.
Yeah.
So we know it's off the turbo.
And it won't fit on this bike.
On the original bike, it goes in a slot in the tailpiece here.
Which it can't do here.
So then that is the right length to reach all the components.
Yeah.
So ideally I need to fit this here, under here. So I've fitted the seat.
Yeah.
And the seat lock as well. Actually all works.
Good.
So what I'm thinking of doing, when I make... When I make the rear mudguard, I'm going to incorporate a bracket to hold there.
Yeah, okay.
And the wiring, I might have to go at an angle like that.
Yeah, well then pop out.
I'm going to have to cut a slot in here.
Yeah, because that's quite a tight fit, isn't it?
To get that plug in.
Yeah.
That's the only place I can put it. I had considered putting it under here.
There's no room, is there?
There's not quite enough room.
No.
And the fuel pump's got to go across here.
Yeah.
And the fuel pump relays bolt to the back of the plenum chamber, and the match sensor and a few other bits and pieces. The CDI is going to go here, somewhere, which on the original 650 has a little tool tray like that.
Yeah.
Well, that's redundant.
Yeah. So you can.
Unless I can cut that up and put the CDI unit in it.
Or maybe.
Not decided yet.
That is quite a large box, isn't it?
So that's the sub loom I've bought that controls all the injection system.
Yeah.
So I've just got to check that, and that's what I work.
That's ready to go. Yeah.
I've got some high power Axel coils to mount on the frame there.
Okay.
So I've got some brackets that came with the coils, but they are rather Keith Robinson, should we say? They're a bit bodged.
Improve that.
They're here somewhere. Where are they?
Well, hopefully they're going to go right there where the original coils used to
where
live.
the original coils go, that's where they've obviously got to go, but the bracketry is proper horrible.
Oh well.
There it is.
Oh God, yeah.
That just says right hand side. You can see the coil, that goes over the coil, and obviously there's some sort of strapping because you can see witness marks. And then you've got all these brackets that have been bent out of shape when it's probably been bolted on the chopper.
Oh.
Yeah, so they're horrible. Can't use them.
No.
It's just unprofessional.
I'll be using Dyna coils, they bolt straight on.
So I'm basically trying to make sure I've got all the electrical components.
Before you make a start.
Before I make a start. I found the CDI unit.
That's quite small, that's not as bad,
is it? It's got turbo written on it. But when I looked at the part number for the turbo CDI unit...
Is it different?
It gave me a different part number. So I thought this part number was wrong. But then I've Googled GPZ 750 turbo CDI, and everything that comes up on the internet, when I've clicked on, they've got that part number.
Right, okay. So they might have changed it over the years.
I think they've superseded the number from the original parts.
It happens,
yeah. So things like that, you know, I'm just getting all the sensors and components I need, make sure they're in the right position, and then go for it. I've got a short list of stuff I need to get. I'm going to go back to this breakers and see if he's got the bits and pieces I need.
Okay.
There's a junction box which goes on in this area on the turbo, you know, standard turbo model. Rather than a fuse box, it has a junction box. I haven't got one, so I need to. I need to go and see if the breakers has got that. Yeah.
Okay. Right. Good stuff.
So that's where
there's a quick update on progress. I mean, building these things is not easy, is it?
It's not. I mean,
there's so many little things you need to consider and modify.
I've got all the Brembo master cylinders on, I've got the switch gear and the bar end weights. I've got this Brembo clutch lever and lever perch on. But whereas if it had a hydraulic clutch, it would have a master cylinder.
Yes.
And you can buy a cap like this one, which has a threaded insert for a mirror.
Yes.
But on this clutch side, the screws are off centre. Instead of being at 6 and 12, they're off centre. And you cannot get a cap
like that.
with a thread lug in it.
Okay.
So I've got a problem now. Where to find a...
You could use bar end mirrors, maybe. I don't know.
I spent an hour, maybe an hour and a half, on the internet last night trying to find something. And this is where my time goes. Just a simple thing like that. Brembo don't do one apparently. But last time I spoke to PDQ Motorcycles, where they ordered all the parts from, they said they were going to get in touch with Brembo to see if there was one available. So I'm still waiting on that.
Okay.
I have a damaged throttle cable here. I've tried to repair it best I can, but it's damaged at this point. You can see daylight through it, and it's not good. These are no longer available. I found a new old stock cable on the internet like yesterday on eBay. 40 quid for a cable. The push cable's fine. It's the opening cable that I need.
You can make one from Venhill.
I could, but there's one on eBay, £35 plus a £5 postage.
Oh well.
But it's a genuine cable with the right part number on it.
Right.
So
get that.
Yeah, it's 40 quid for a cable.
But then again, a vinyl kit's about 25, so
and
you've
then
got
the labour to make it up.
Yeah.
So it would probably cost more to make up a vinyl.
Yeah, well.
I know vinyl do braided.
Oh yeah, you do all
so
sorts.
They look like braided lines, which look fantastic. But that's something possibly to upgrade for the future.
One day.
We'll get the bike built and then he'll ride it round.
Worry about updates later on.
He'll ride it round and we'll get it all set up.
Yeah, there's a plenum there. It's on now.
Yeah, it's not on permanently yet.
I know.
I need all the clips that hold the rubbers, to clamp the rubbers round the throttle bodies. I need to get bigger injectors, so there's no injectors on yet.
Okay.
So I need to find out if the lads with the 810 turbos do run bigger injectors or not. If they don't, I can possibly get the original injectors cleaned and reuse them.
Reuse those,
But then once the injectors are on, it gives me a position where the fuel rail is and the outlet, Then I can put the tank on and work out where the outlet needs to go to see if it fouls the. I think we should be all right with the outlet. You know, the fuel tap side.
Yeah, looks like
I think it's
room.
just the return I need to make. But we've spoken to Jonathan, and he says you've got to reposition the outlet as well as the return.
Okay. Well, you live and learn.
We won't know that until I've got the injectors on and all that.
Okay.
Right. So that's about where we're up
There's
to.
a quick end of the year update on Drew's turbo project. Okay. So my tea's down there going cold, so we'll end it here.
Let's drink lots of tea.
And we'll catch up in the new year.
Catch up in the new year.
Okay, so that's it for now. So thanks for watching and cheers.
Cheers.